Good evening. My name is Minnie Antoine, and I'm pursuing my Master's of Psychology at Kaiser University. This PowerPoint presentation is on sleep disorders. The course is called Health Psychology, PSY 532. Many of us experience trouble sleeping at one time or another. It's usually due to stress, traveling, illness, or other temporary interruptions in our daily routine. If your sleeping problems are a regular occurrence, then it can interfere with your daily life. You may be suffering from a sleep disorder. So what's a sleep disorder? A sleep disorder is a medical disorder that relates to the sleeping patterns of a person or an animal. Some sleep disorders are serious enough to interfere with your normal physical, mental, social, and emotional functionings. Sleep disorders can be broadly classified into three categories, as you can see from the slide. Sleep disorders involving the timing of sleep and other disorders can be caused by many things, such as medical or psychological conditioning and sleep sickness. Sleep disorders can take a serious toll on your mental and physical health, leading to memory problems, weight gain, and impacting your energy and mood. So now we're going to dive into the history of sleep disorders. Human beings have always been fascinated by sleep. Research on sleep has been conducted since the late 1800s. Scientific sleep research began when Richard Canton, who successfully recorded the electric brain activity of small animals. That achievement paved the way of discovering alpha waves in human brains, which helped identify the stages of sleep we have today. 2 years after Canton's contribution, narcolepsy was the first described in the medical literature. The 20th century saw a boom in the sleep research, which led to the classification of many sleep disorders that we have today. On this slide, you'll find an example of the different stages of sleep. The next few slides will definitely dive in and discuss those stages. Non-REM sleep. In 1937, Alfred Loomis discovered non-REM sleep. Though his discovery was able to describe the different stages of sleep, this allowed a deeper insight into how the brain functions during sleep. Many sleep disorders can look the same when looking from the outside. REM disorders was officially described in 1986. REM sleep disorders is characterized by the absence of paralysis during REM sleep. As a consequence, sufferers of REM sleep disorders act out their dreams, which can be very dangerous. So what's REM? REM stands for rapid eye movement. During REM sleep, your eye moves quickly in different directions. That doesn't happen during non-REM sleep. First comes non-REM sleep, followed by a shortened period of REM sleep, and then the cycle starts all over again. Dreams typically happen during REM sleep. REM sleep happens 90 minutes after you fall asleep. The first period of REM typically lasts 10 minutes. Each of your later REM stages gets longer, and the final one may last up to an hour. Your heartbeat and rate quickens then. There are 3 phases of non-REM sleep. Each stage can last up to 5 to 15 minutes. You go through all 3 phases before reaching REM sleep. Stage 1. Your eyes are closed, but easy to wake up. This phase can last up from 5 to 10 minutes. Stage 2. You are in a light sleep. Your heart rate slows down, your body temperature drops. Your body's getting ready for the deep sleep phase. Stage 3. This is the deep sleep stage. It's hard to rouse you during this stage. If someone wakes you up, you would feel disoriented for a few minutes. During the deep stage of NREM sleep, the body repairs, regrows tissue, builds bone, muscle, and strengthens the Signs and symptoms. Everyone experiences occasional sleep problems. So how can one tell whether your sleeping problems is just minor or passing annoyance, or just a sign of a serious sleep disorder or underlying medical condition? Well, ask yourself, do you feel irritable or sleep during the day? Do you have a difficulty of staying up while sitting still, watching TV, or reading a book? Do you fall asleep or feel tired while driving? How about, do you have difficulty concentrating? Do you often get told by others you look very tired? Do you react slowly? Do you have trouble controlling your emotions? How about, do you feel like you have to take a nap almost every day? Lastly, do you require caffeinated beverages to keep yourself going? If you're experiencing any of these symptoms on this slide, you may be dealing with a sleep disorder. The more answers yes, the more likely it is that you have a sleep disorder. Before you self-diagnose yourself, it's best you sought out help and find out from a specialist if you're suffering from an underlying sleep disorder. But before you sought out help, keep a sleep diary. A sleep diary or journal can pinpoint day and night habits that may be contributing to the problems you are suffering at night. Keeping a record of your sleep patterns and problems will also prove helpful if you eventually have to see a sleep doctor. For example, ask yourself what time you went to bed and woke up, the total sleep hours, perceived quality of sleep, a record of time you spent awake, and what did you do? Did you get up? Did you get a glass of milk and meditate, for example? What type of amount of food, liquid, caffeines, or alcohol are you consuming before you go to bed? Records of your feelings and moods before you go to bed, whether you're happy, sad, anxious, stressed. Lastly, any drugs or medication you may be taking, which includes dosages and time consumption. All of these things can contribute to your sleep disorder or sleep deprivation at the moment. So it's always good to keep a diary to track whether it is a sleep disorder you have or something else that's causing your sleep issues. There are approximately 84 different sleep disorders. Listed below are some of the most common disorders. such as sleep apnea, narcolepsy, restless leg syndrome, sleepwalking, night terrors, nightmares, bedwetting, and the list goes on and on. On the next slide, I provided a video that shows examples of a few selected sleep disorders. The first steps to discovering the electrocephalogram and stages of sleep. The development of modern sleep medicine is closely linked to the discovery of electrical activities of the brain. Canton was the first to record brain electrical activities of animals in England in 1875, but it was Burgers who discovered the reported and the electrocephalograms of man in Germany in 1929. In 1937, Loomis in the US first documented the characteristics of the electrocephalogram, the EEG patterns, of what is now called the NREM sleep, vertex waves, sleep spirals, K complexes, and delta slowings. He divided sleep into 5 stages of increasing depth from A through Z, which formed the basis for the current classification of NREM sleep. In 1951, Kleitman, a professor of physiology at the University of Chicago, studied eye movement during the sleep with the assistance of his graduate student. His work culminated in a paper in 1953, which led to a new sleep state of REM sleep, which was described and correlated with dreaming hypothesized. In 1957, Dittman and Kleitman described the human sleep cycle of NREM sleep stages of increasing depth followed by a period of REM sleep, with the cycle of repeating throughout the night. They proposed a new clarification of sleep stages using 4 stages of NREM sleep. Sleep in REM sleep, a spectrum still used today with very few alterations. The understanding of electrophysiologists substrated the human sleep has been the bias for the vast literature on sleep that has accumulated over the ensuing of a half century. The history of the development of sleep medicine. Major advances in sleep science have occurred over the past half century since the discovery of rapid eye movement, REM sleep. Scientific progress combined with an increasing recognition that disorders of sleep are highly prevalent in our society has led to physicians to acquire knowledge necessary for the diagnosis and treatment of those disorders of sleep. Consequently, the history of the development of sleep medicine in the United States is relatively short, and most of the individuals involved with the development is still living. So, the process of finding a solution to most of those sleep orders are still in progress.